actionfigureresource.com. Yesterday's toys, today's treasures.
Top 10 Batman figures countdown. This time, just Batman. This is our third Batman-related top 10, or the fourth if you count Justice League. Our first was a mix of the Dark Knight himself and some of his rogues gallery, for some much-needed variety. The second was focused just on Batman's many colourful villains, but some of you folks felt we weren't doing the Caped Crusader himself the justice he deserved. So, since the one thing the internet needs is more exposure for Batman, here, officially, are our top 10 Batman-only figures. Starting us off at 10, this DC Superheroes rendition gives us a Marvel Legends scale Batman from Mattel. It is 6 inches high and has multiple points of articulation. As with many of this line, he also has nice big chunky boots to give him a good centre of gravity. At 9, the Batman we see in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight Rises movie is depicted here in this Square Enix figure. Tall and armoured, Batman comes with his customary cape and utility belt. You will of course have to provide the ferociously loud and husky voice yourself. At 8, this one from DC Direct in 2008, inspired by the artwork of Jim Lee, not in Hush, but in the Frank Miller series. All-star Batman and Robin, the boy wonder, looks all set to slap around his young ward, kidnapping him and locking him in a cave with only bats to eat. At 7, this DC Collectibles version based on the artwork of Greg Capullo from the recent run of New 52 Batman comics beginning with A Court of Owls and then Year Zero, looks like he stepped right off the printed page. The purple gloves are a reference back to one of his oldest and immediately abandoned costume affectations. At 6, Sideshow presents this incredible rendering of Batman as seen in the animated tie-in DVD Gotham Knight. He has 3 interchangeable heads to represent the various different styles in which he is drawn within this multi-part project. He even has interchangeable facial expressions allowing you to switch from grim, grimmer, and grimmest among the various levels of ear pointiness. At 5, during the climax of the 1992 Tim Burton movie Batman Returns, Bruce Wayne rips off his rubber cowl to reveal Michael Keaton's face to Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman in a touching moment of openness, reaching out from one deeply scarred and damaged person to another. This moment was crystallized by the master craftsmen at Hot Toys in this exquisite alternate edition which is releasing this year. Next time you watch the movie, by the way, see if you can spot the moment when Bruce's eyeshadow disappears. At number 4, it's the Arkham Knight figure from NECA. At a quarter scale, this beast of a figure stands 18 inches tall, with astonishing levels of detail. The Arkham game series began life by adapting the dark realism of the Nolan movies into the stylized world of the Bruce Timm animated series and the comics. Now it actually looks like the movies will be taking their cues from this balance laid down by these immensely successful games. At number 3, speaking of the Timverse, this DC Collectibles one, based on the very first animated series from 1992, is a slightly more rounded, shaded version of the one from Batman and Robin Adventures, that appeared in our other video, pretty much encapsulating in a single figure what most people think of when you say the name Batman. At number 2, from Frank Miller's perennial classic, The Dark Knight Returns, seen frequently as the wellspring from which all contemporary dark versions of Batman stem from. Here is a violent, furious, grotesquely muscular, immensely rich old man who, rather than economically revitalizing the city he swore to protect, takes to the streets of Gotham once again to beat its poorest denizens to a pulp to prevent them from preying on weak women. This 12th scale figure by Mezco is super articulated with many additional fists and 2 angry faces to swap around to your heart's content. Seriously though, all joking aside, this Mezco figure really is fantastic and we can see why you would draw our attention to it. And finally at number 1, guaranteed to have hardcore Bat fans choking on their Bat snacks, it's Lego Batman, as seen in the Lego movie. Now hear us out. This one from set 70817 comes with Angry Unikitty, an oversized grappling gun, a robot skeleton and a micromanager to fight, and bears 2 unusually cheesy facial expressions differentiating him from the pre-movie versions of Lego Batman. See, Lego Batman represents the antithesis of everything else on this list, reminding us that Batman may have been co-opted by adults some time ago and stuck into increasingly grim storylines for our continuous edification, but ultimately he's endlessly appealing to kids as well, and frankly the idea of a neurotic man dressed up as a bat and trying to be super serious is also a goldmine of absurd comedy. And this Lego Batman straight from the movie really genuinely is iconic. So what do you guys think? This is your cue to suggest in the comments some of the more fun ones we might have missed while traversing the relentless darkness. And be sure to check out our many other Batman related videos on Action Figure Resource.
ActionFigureResource.com. Yesterday's toys, today's treasures.